this. Test number 2. Alright, see where we're at.
No, dreads are looking good now. How long has it
been? Yeah, it's been 11 months now.
11 months. It's been nearly a year now since I cut the top of my hair, so it's a lot longer now.
Definitely, bro. Did you want to do like braids or?
Yeah, I think next style I'll do box braids or my hair's so much longer now.
Yeah.
Would I ever do dreads? Maybe one day, because I know it's a lifetime. I'm gonna. Is there a lot of maintenance or is it low maintenance? Because
low maintenance, bro. For me, every 2 weeks I wash my hair, put oil in it, and that's it, bro.
Yeah.
Some people hydrate their hair every day, but I do that here and there, bro. It's not a necessity.
Yeah, I can experiment with that hair now.
I'm here with
Prince.
Yes, sir. Age?
20.
20. Ethnicity?
Congolese.
Yes, sir. Fully Congolese? Or?
Yeah, fully Congolese.
Yeah. All right. Because I know off camera you said you had a hint of Jamaican. Or
a little bit of Jamaican, but still Congolese.
Still fully Congolese.
Yeah.
All right. Do you like Congolese parents? What are they saying?
They're calm, but with my parents, it's more just of the black side, really, especially how they raised me and my siblings, very family orientated.
Yeah.
Goals and values, and it's just when you leave that part, you don't realise how family orientated and the goal driven they are, which is pretty good.
Okay, say less. How many siblings do you have then? Since you have.
So I've got 2 younger sisters.
Yeah.
And a younger brother, so 4 of us in total.
Oh, you're the oldest?
Yeah, the oldest.
I've always wanted the older brother, to be honest. Like, I hate, because even me, I'm the oldest as well. And I hate being like, you bear the responsibility and the standard.
Oh, no, I'm telling you, you're the emergency parent. Anything happens,
you're
the first one to take responsibility. You have to take responsibility for the younger ones, and you're like a stepping parent as well.
Exactly. So. You're basically their parent.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Because now our parents are getting to like they're transitioning into the grandparent stage.
Yeah.
So it's a thing where we've taken their responsibility.
Yeah, especially when they want advice or school advice or sixth form, because you've already done that. They're looking at you for advice because you've already gone ahead and done that.
Would you say you're close with your brother in that sense? Because I know younger brothers look up.
Yeah. I would say I'm pretty close with my brother because we're only 1 year apart.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So he's here. You know?
No, he's back home.
Oh, okay.
He's still in college. He's got 1 year left. But yeah, because me and my brother have had pretty similar experiences in life.
Yeah.
And whenever, he needs like girl advice or advice with friends or tests who come to me, and I'm like, yeah, I've done this. Whatever you've experienced, I've already done it beforehand, even if it's slightly different. So yeah, you have a very close connection.
Do you see him as a younger brother though? Because he's only 1 year, or do you kind of see each other on the same?
That's a good one. I would say a younger brother, but then at the same time, I would say not, if it makes sense, because because we're so close in age and our experiences, it's kind of like he's just someone you've grown up with. It's not someone it's the age gap is so different that you're like, well, you can't really relate to what I'm going through, and we've done everything together, so.
Oh, okay. Oh, shoot. Nice. Yeah. I've always wanted a brother, to be honest, an older brother. Having a younger brother's like, I have to share my PlayStation with you and stuff like that. I've never been a fan of that. But honestly, like, they look up to you, and I appreciate that.
Yeah,
like, I think I've, like, cousins who are younger than me, and I can sort of tell they look up to me. So it's a feeling of responsibility. I like that because it keeps me in check. But, everyone's human. We fall a lot of the times and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
That. But what do you like to do?
What I like to do? Okay, that's interesting. Well, I like to do gym.
Yes, sir.
I like to box. Been doing that on and off for about a year now. I love self-improvement. Watch self-improvement content. I've started doing running recently.
Really?
About twice a week. About 10k runs.
Do you join like a run club?
No, just on my own. Just to improve my cardio for boxing. I used to be a huge fan of movies. I used to be a huge Marvel, Star Wars fan. I like to travel. Been abroad a few times. So whenever me and my family go to different places, London, Birmingham, we travel all up and down over the UK, and I'm a very social person as well.
Really?
Like to hang out with my friends, like to be involved with people, and I'll do that a couple of times a week. But there's a balance. I love being social, but then I love being alone as well.
Yeah.
I'll be out all weekend, and then for the rest of the week, I just want to be in my room the whole day, just chilling, watching YouTube and movies. So I could do both.
Do you have a healthy balance of that, or are you more leaning towards being inside or outside?
I would say it's a healthy balance because at one point I would have probably say I'm quite introverted.
Okay.
But nowadays with my week, because of boxing, gym, all of that, I'm always around people. There's not a day when I'm not around person. I'm always around people, which forces me to be social, and I do like being social and going out especially. But sometimes there will be times where my social battery drains. And like, what am I doing here? I can't be asked. But there are times where I'll happily just be in my room, reflecting by myself. But then you have to remind yourself, being social is a part of, being human. And you can't be like that all the time. But there are times where I just want to be by myself. I don't want to be with anyone else. So I would say it's a healthy balance. Maybe it's 60-40, being social, not social.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I'd say it's fairly healthy.
Yeah, that's better than not. Because with me, I'm bro, for me it's like 70-30. I'm not going to lie, bro. Yeah. It's weird because the nature of my work like requires me to talk to different people. And I haven't got a problem with it. I don't know, because I used to be a shy person, so I don't know how like I'm able to talk to people like that. It's very weird.
It's hard to believe.
Yeah, but I just never find it hard. Maybe it's just a gift or something. But yeah, man, I just prefer being inside. But I guess there's a culture with introverted people is like, I don't like anyone. I just like staying inside. But I realize that's kind of unhealthy, man, because you have to be out. You have to talk to people. You have to be social. You can't, no man's an island, innit? You can't survive on this earth alone. You can't do it alone, like Rambo style, innit? Yeah,
but then that's the thing with introverted people. You say you're introverted, but when it's with people you truly connect with, you'll be your open self, you'll be expressive. And I used to say that at first, but I'm like, if I'm always talking to people, even yesterday I went out to a social with my boxing society, I only told my boy it'd be 2 hours. Ended up staying 3-4 hours and it was a good time, but I'm just telling myself, you always say you're introverted, but put yourself in the right environment with the right people, you will be quite social. And that's the thing, introverted people are more selective with their energy. They're not just gonna go out to every event and just talk to anyone. It's a certain amount of people that they'll actually be really open with.
Do you think it's better that way though?
That's interesting. That's interesting because when I first started uni, I was pretty shy.
Yeah.
Because when I first moved in, this is like I wasn't even 18 for a month yet. I was like really, really young. I was so scared to leave my room. I was so scared. I was just like, it's a new environment. It's new people. They're not gonna like me, etc.
Yeah.
And then when I met my flatmates, they were pretty cool. We had a lot in common and it encouraged me to come out of my shell, to be more social. But then I did have that habit of oversharing, which is not good because you really have to be careful who you give your personal information to, because people nowadays, some people are like sharks. They prey on that weakness. But over time, it's encouraged me to be social, but to be careful of the energy you give out and to be very selective, because some people just drain your energy. They're like piranhas, so you have to be careful. So it's kind of like just the discerning between who you should be open with and shouldn't. But you should always be social, because all of this, you need to be alone, you need to go monk mode, it's not healthy. It's not healthy. As humans, we have to be social people.
Yeah, facts.
It's part of our development.
Yeah. I think the fact that, this just came into my head now, the fact that like babies, if you don't give them enough attention, they can die. They die?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure,
Yeah, they can die. That just goes to show, at a foundational level, we need each other. Like, we can't survive this on our own. Because I used to watch a lot of anime, right? Yeah, I still watch anime. But I used to watch a lot more back in the day. And just like, Guts and stuff. Like, he's alone, he looks cold. Like, I think it's bare cold when you're alone.
It's really cold.
And
Sigma,
yeah, like Madara, like, you 1v a million. And like, you're cold. But it's like, in reality, that doesn't work, innit? You need people. You're always going to lose to the group of people who are together. If you're on your own, always,
No one is self-made.
You
always say that, like, you're a self-developed person. But think about who helped you along the way. Your parents who gave you advice when you were younger, who gave you those values instilled with you. Your friends who were there for you along the way. And even people who hurt you. Over time, that was part of your development, because it allowed you to be emotionally more resilient, to be more discerning with your energy, and to ultimately realise what you should and shouldn't allow in your life. So if you were to say you were self-made, that would say for you to be all alone all of your life. If anything, you would be less developed.
Yeah.
Than
Facts.
actually more developed. So while it does seem cool at the time, like
Yeah.
I'm a Sigma.
me.
For a lot of those times, it's kind of cope. It just encourage you to be lonely and unsocial, and it's not healthy at all. What is cool is to just be social and to be yourself. Just be your genuine self. You don't have to force an act.
Facts.
People will tell.
What do you think about the term whitewashed? We spoke about this off camera.
Whitewashed.
But, I want to get your view on it.
It's an interesting one because me personally, growing up, it was surrounded by a lot of white people from primary school all the way to about maybe uni. It was predominantly white, and the term whitewashed it's a term, but I just think it's kind of ignorance coming at the same time, because what is it to be white or to be black? I mean, it's culture, it's people's actions at the end of the day, but in my personal opinion, I would say it's just people seeing you act a certain way, well, stereotypically, that's not what your people of your colour supposed to be doing. Because especially growing up in school, obviously, if you're
just taking the time, don't mind.
Yeah, if you're in a class of predominantly white people, especially white girls as a black guy at the time, you might be more inclined to be more attracted to people of that colour rather than people of your own. Or, for example, you listen to music, if it's more white people in that class like me, especially, it would have been white people of that time. And the funny thing is, as soon as I joined uni and I came back first semester, my parents were like, have you made any black friends yet?
Really?
And I was like, no, everyone on my floor they were all white.
Yeah.
Only one Asian guy who I've gotten really well with, and then a black girl, but she mainly kept to herself.
Yeah.
So my parents did encourage me to socialise with more black people, which I am now, but me as a person, I'm cool with anyone. It doesn't matter what gender, race you are, white, black, Asian. It's just as long as you click on at the end of the day. But then with whitewashed, it's valid, but it's also kind of a stupid word at the same time, because at the end of the day, I'm black. And yes, I'll talk with white people, I'll socialise with them, but if you're not proud to be black, because at one point, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Growing up, especially a lot of people, if you were black growing up in the UK, it wasn't easy. You didn't realise how much internalized racism there was growing up, with you being mixed with every black boy in the class, even if you didn't look alike. Or the music tastes. But the older I've gotten, I'm proud to be black now. I do listen to black music. I socialise with black people. I don't just socialise with black people, I socialise with white people. I'm proud to be by race, but then I'm also happy to be with other people. So whitewashed is valid, but sometimes it is a bit of ignorance and not acknowledging that people do come from different backgrounds.
So you believe this statement has some truth to it, but you don't agree with the mindset of this statement. That's what I'm getting from you. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That's what I'd say.
With me, I think it's a backhanded compliment. To say I'm whitewashed, you're basically saying I'm supposed to. Black is a way you act, and not your race.
Like what is black?
Yeah, am I supposed to wear Canada Goose and sag my pants and just say, what are you saying, fam? To every person. I just sound stupid. And if anything, the connotations it has, again, it's internalized racism.
It's so much. You don't realise until you get older.
Exactly. So anytime I'm acting posh, or I say my words fully, or I'm in a professional setting and I have to kind of act like a square, you're saying that I'm not being black, so black people are informal.
I've had that before. I've had people say to me, you speak well for a black person, you're well spoken. Like, what does that mean?
Exactly.
Like, can't black people be well educated? My parents always made it clear to me and my siblings to always chase your education. They made it very, very clear to always to educate yourself really, because they say that, especially as black people, we got to be honest. You're the most qualified person, but because of the colour of your skin, people are going to subconsciously judge you. There's not like a way where you victimise, because there's another. Black people, we love to victimise ourselves. We love to play the victim card, and yes, there always is racism and our ancestors and slavery and the civil rights movement. But nowadays, in the Western society, Western world, black people have a lot of privileges.
Facts.
Yes, we do have to work hard, but we have a lot more access to resources than our ancestors never did. So when people say you're well spoken for a black person, so do I talk black or is there a way to talk black? Like,
it
doesn't matter of the race.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, what does that mean? And when you tell your parents, like, you do realise that's a backhanded compliment. Just thinking that black people are stupid and unintelligent. And black people are very capable. We don't always apply ourselves. So
yeah, exactly. It's just that whether you think it's an agenda or not, whether people think it's an agenda, that's a whole nother conversation. But it's just the fact that the black people being pushed into the spotlight are the ignorant ones. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, that's
like, look at Vaughn, all these rappers, bro. They're ignorant and stuff like that. They're not good role models. They're
putting a lot of degeneracy for the black community on the platform. Even with, I'm pretty sure you've seen Pop the Balloons.
Stuff like that.
It's not a good look at all, because when you put on all these, I'll be very careful because all respect to my black sisters, black men, whatever. But when you put on black people who have like the worst types of values and standards when it comes to dating, it generalizes black people that all they want is cheaters and they're not loyal and that
wines and stuff.
They just want wines and they just it doesn't look good, because if you're always putting on black people, you're just trying to paint an agenda that every black person is like that, which you shouldn't be generalizing. But that's what mainstream, even black YouTube, I've got to be honest, is quite degenerate. There's no value, there's no culture. It's just, like you said, it's just the whining and the rappers and the cheaters, and it's
Nah, definitely, because I think that, again, I think the reason why there's black YouTubers like that is because of the role models being pushed and stuff like that. Because they're like, okay, in order to get where he's acting, I have to do what he's doing. Which is logical. So it's like, okay, let me do that. And since one person does it, it's like the whole wave does it, you know. I don't like it, but it is what it is, I guess. Yeah. But, you know, it only takes one person to be the difference, innit? So
it's like, for example, when you see black YouTubers, it's good because, like, I see someone of my skin colour on the TV, but when you realise you don't have to degrade yourself to that level in order to make it big. You can just be authentic, be yourself, because that's the thing. A lot of people nowadays are too scared to be their genuine self. Everyone feels like they need to fit into this culture and they need to be part of a heading, and it's not necessary, because especially with black YouTube, a lot of them know they weren't raised like that. You weren't raised like that. That's not how your family raised you. That's not how your parents taught you. But with today's society, they get sucked into it. Especially when you go to uni, I've got to be honest, when you join uni, it really speaks to who you are as a person.
Facts.
You won't find any more genuine people than at uni, because obviously at school, sixth form, college, a lot of those people wouldn't be rocking with you unless if you're in the same class. And as soon as you get to uni, that is genuine on the surface level who that person is. So when you see someone who for 18 years has never drank before, who's never smoked, who's never gone clubbing, and that was me at first. You have the freedom, because obviously 18 years is like, to do this, do that, GCSE, sixth form, you have that freedom to do it, so you'll just go off and whatever. But you got to realise at the end of the day, are those your core values? Is that what your parents have instilled with you? And with black YouTube, there's nothing wrong with black people wanting to represent themselves on camera and to make it big, but in order to fall into degeneracy, you don't have to do it. And it doesn't make us look better, because we always say, oh, we're oppressed, we're victimised, but we don't help ourselves as well. Sometimes we're our own biggest enemy.
I agree. Before I ask my next question, you know who Sky Jackson is?
Sky Jackson, yeah, I think I've heard of her.
You seen Jessie?
Jessie, yeah.
Yeah, the black girl on Jessie.
Yeah.
Zuri and Jessie.
Zuri, yeah.
Do you actually know? Because you said that like you're unsure. Be honest.
A little bit, nah.
Okay.
I've heard of the name, but...
Okay, forget that question. But she's basically... I'll tell you a bit of backstory. She's basically, obviously, growing up. Most people... I watched Jessie growing up.
Yeah.
And like, so she was like a nostalgic person, innit? Yeah. So, but obviously now she's growing up, obviously she got pregnant by a YN, basically, since we were on the topic of black people.
Yeah.
And like a lot of people are kind of scrutinizing her for it, or like mocking her for it. I wanted to just get your thoughts on that. But I guess you can give a rough...
She made her choice.
Yeah.
She made her choice.
Yeah.
That's the thing. No one is perfect. And at the end of the day, it's kind of, when we do our choices, what we think what we're doing is, I guess, okay at the time, even if we know if it isn't. Because I'm not a perfect person myself, and I've done some stuff. But in her case, I don't know, because I don't want to come across from this place where I seem all high,
holy and down,
holy and down, high and righteous. But she made a mistake, and if she could look back and realize what she did at the time, because she can't undo it now, and whether all she could do now is really just learn from a mistake, because I don't know the full context. I don't want to come across as
yeah. Fair enough. That's very kind of you.
Yeah.
What do you you said you do boxing, right?
Yeah.
Are you confident you can beat anyone up? So if someone barges you in the street, I said this in my last interview too. But if anyone barges you in the street, like someone bumps into you, you're like, if anything goes on, I know I can smoke him. So it's less. Are you less? You know.
I'm more confident now knowing that I can defend myself.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be able to smoke up everyone on the street. But there are a good percentage of people that I walk by and I know. I can beat you up. And it's not even just the ego thing, because I know what I do in the week, what I'm capable of with how much I exert myself physically in the week, and just walking past a lot of guys as well that say, "Oh, I'd smoke you in a fight." A lot of guys, you start doing boxing, you don't realise how much, if someone actually knows how to fight, they would pack you, or they would actually smoke you in a fight. So unless you actually know how to throw hands, a lot of people would get beaten up.
Because I said this off camera as well to you. When I did boxing, because I go to the gym, I thought, okay, I'm at least strong enough to physically defend myself to an extent. So I'm not too bothered about whichever guy's trying to start something. But since I did one lesson of boxing, there was the guy who was teaching me was younger than me. He looked about like 16. Bro, I know he could smoke me. Just because he knows like the weak points and where to move. Like if someone knows what they're doing and I don't, you're definitely getting smoked. It doesn't matter how big you are or whatever. Yeah. You're just getting smoked, bro.
If you truly want to know how to fight, guys, do sparring. Even me at first, I'm like, well, I've done gym, so realistically, like you said, I should be physically strong.
Yeah.
Do sparring. I get smoked so bad, because if the person is more experienced, skilled, you could be even more physically more stronger than that person, but because they know how to fight, they're gonna beat you up. And sometimes it's just that technique and skill over actual physical strength. And in order to actually really humble yourself, just spar. Realize that you're not the best there, and there are better people than you, but that's how you constantly get better. You always have to keep constantly going up against better opponents and fighting more, because that's the only way. Because if you wake up one day and say I can beat any man on the street, trust me, you're going to lose a lot of fights. So,
do you believe the saying, the bigger they are, the harder they fall?
That's a good one. I would say yes, to an extent, because obviously the bigger the person, the heavier the mass, you're going to assume the harder the impact. But not necessarily, because even in boxing, because we do sparring and we go up against different opponents of different heights and statures, it is always the bigger guys that you hate going up against, because I'm telling you, their reach. It's going to be harder for you to get them down, for them to get you down, because they always have that reach on you. Especially when you're going in for a punch and they get you their jabs. I'm telling you, it is lethal. If you don't know how to close the distance, a lot of the times they're going to have you at bay. And I'd rather get hit by a smaller guy than a bigger guy, because he's going to have a lot more force behind his punches than it's going to take for me to knock him out, which is why I always prefer the smaller people. But you have to fight a different range of opponents in order. And that's what, it's all good to have muscles and go to the gym. You've got to learn how to fight as well, because you can't just be strong and not know how to fight. 100%. You're lying with no teeth. Someone smaller actually they'll pack you up.
Finish you up. Yeah. Because what I noticed was that I thought. So you're basically saying that it's a lie. The bigger the harder they fall is a lie.
Yeah. Kind of. There's a lot of sayings where, I guess it depends on the fighter really. Because it doesn't matter if he's bigger. How are you going to get him down if he's the better fighter of you two? But I would say, true to an extent.
Yeah.
Depends.
Okay, say less. You said you go to uni.
Yeah.
I didn't ask you that question, but indirectly you just said it.
Yeah.
What do you study in uni?
Business and marketing.
Do you care about it?
I'm not as enthusiastic as when I started. Because when you start first year, you're very enthusiastic, you know. It's the first 3-4 years of my life. That's what they would say. Uni's the best years of your life.
Yeah.
And you meet new people. But ever since starting, I've just realised there's so many different other pathways. I've known from Ty, the degree isn't the only thing I need to get a job.
Yeah.
And nowadays, a lot of employees actually value experience of a degree.
Yeah.
Because I'm working all this time in uni, I'm going to leave with a degree, but then there's someone out there who's done the same thing, but actually 4 years of experience.
Yeah,
so what do I actually have over them in terms of a piece of paper? And it's just, by the time you get to third year onwards, it gets repetitive with the assignments and just realising you're doing the same thing again and again just to graduate and just to end up in the same job as before. Some people might say it's useless. I would say, unless you actually really know what you want to do with your degree to set you up for life, you don't really need to go to uni.
Right.
It's just a lot of debt that you're piling up. And unless you really know what you're going to do, don't come in just to waste your time. And, you know, I would have done an apprenticeship. If I had the chance to do it again, like, I'm still happy for the people I've met, the experiences I've had, but if I had the chance to again, I would do an apprenticeship 100%, because I actually get the experience and I'm getting paid. I'm just doing what everyone else is doing, and with a degree, it's kind of like, you think you're the odd one out because when you're younger, you was taught that a degree is the way to stand out. But in today's changing world, you realise that a degree, you're just kind of just like everyone else, but what actually skills and qualifications do you have to stand up? Because nowadays, it's who you know or what you know.
Yeah, 100%.
That's why you should have connections, because this is why if you have a degree.
I'm glad you said changing world, because I don't think, thinking about it now, I don't think our parents were toxic when they said, oh, go to uni, get a degree. Because maybe that was the blueprint back then. But because the world has changed and social media, you know, all of this stuff, like, I guess now there's more opportunities to do different stuff. So yeah, that's that. What was I going to ask you next? Okay, I like saving that one for later.
Okay.
Yeah. Marvel. Where's Marvel heading?
Oh, Marvel. Don't even get me started.
Marvel is dead now,
it's dead, and you can tell they're pushing an agenda now as well, because growing up, I was a huge Marvel fan. From like Iron Man to Infinity War, like even all the pop vinyls on my shelf.
Yeah, that Marvel one is hard. I like that.
Huge Marvel fan. I'm telling you now, best MC movie of all time is Infinity War. It's so much better than Endgame.
Oh yeah, way better than Endgame.
So much better. The reason why Infinity War made so much is because it was a build-up of the last 10 years of characters that we got to know. They had character arcs, they developed. So by the time you saw the Avengers and the Guardians and all of that, the hype was there. I'm telling you. But nowadays, it's just pushing an agenda of characters you don't really care about, because you know, obviously the next big one, you know, Kang
Secret
Wars and Doctor Doom. No one cares about She-Hulk or Miss Marvel or Ironheart. Like, there's no substance to them. And you do realise with a lot of the movies nowadays, I'm gonna make it very, very clear. It's that you can tell they're pushing an agenda with She-Hulk and feminism. It's the feminism agenda they're pushing, and not in a bad way, because there's a lot of good female characters in the MCU. There's Black Widow, the Scarlet Witch, there's Gamora. Those characters have development. But when you push people like She-Hulk, and I'm always trying to prove a point that I'm more competent than men, and that I'm perfect, and then Ironheart coming in. Like, first of all, because her backstory as well was to just get one up on her teachers. It was always about proving a point, proving her haters wrong. If you're always pushing an agenda that the female characters you're introducing now are only out of spite of men, or always trying to prove a point, you're just painting the narrative that female heroes now are just spiteful and you know, they're not confident in their own abilities. Because what made a hero basically is someone with the power to do what's right, and they're flawed, but they still fight their inner demons to do what's right at the end of the day. This is why people like Spider-Man and Captain America and Iron Man, and they're just, it's so woke now. You can just tell it's just...
No, I agree. I watched a film analyst basically, and he was just saying that's the problem. Obviously there's an agenda, like She-Hulk, like she's twerking, whatever, fine. But it's a thing where like they make the female characters perfect, right? And no one can relate to that, because everyone has flaws. You need to have adversity, or like you said, a flaw, and then they overcome it. That's what like makes a hero a hero. Like that's why you can relate to them and you can respect them. But now they're just making the female character perfect, and on top of that, they're bashing the men. And guess what, Marvel? Predominantly, your audience is male. So it doesn't make sense. I don't know why they keep doing it. Because Spider-Man did brilliant. Which other kind of masculine film was there recently? I'm just gonna go with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Spider-Man did brilliant, and they followed the formula that they normally do.
To the T,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And then they go back to like what, Black Widow, or I don't know. They do something after like She-Hulk.
Yeah.
I think She-Hulk was after. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, why? You saw the formula and it worked. If it's working, don't fix it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. If it's not broken, don't fix it. And
Yeah.
I'll get it off the bat. Female characters are amazing. It's not bashing them, but when
Nah.
it's like what they did with Star Wars with Rey. They basically made her a Mary Sue.
Right,
If you
right.
make someone perfect from the start, because a good character is someone who is always, they have strengths and weaknesses,
Yeah.
and by overcoming those weaknesses over time, they become stronger.
Yeah.
And flawed people are the best because we always relate to them.
Yeah, yeah,
But if
yeah.
you're always pushing the agenda that the female characters have to be 100% without flaws, no one's going to relate to it. And the best example of this has to be Captain Marvel.
Yeah, yeah.
Captain Marvel, I'm telling you now. From the second half of the movie, once she unlocked her powers, there was like no threat at all. She was just unstoppable. And like, yeah, she's supposed to be strong for the sake of her. Because if that antagonist is too much stronger than the hero,
Yeah, yeah.
they're not actually going to win at the end. But if you make it to the point where they're invincible and there's no development, they become boring, they become two-dimensional, you can't relate to. And as Marvel fans, they're just pushing out all this content. You know, the last 2 years is WandaVision, Moon Knight,
Yeah.
She-Hulk, Hawkeye. You can't keep it up.
You can't keep
It's
up.
just, it's
Yeah.
kind of quantity over quality.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
why up to Infinity War it was so good, because there was only about 2 movies a year.
Yeah.
And they actually built up these characters and made us care about them. So by the time, you know, the portal scene in Endgame, top 5 MC moment,
Yeah, yeah, perfect.
I was so hyped. And this is why Spider-Man works so well, because Spider-Man has a mask. Anyone can imagine themselves behind the mask. And you realise with a lot of heroes today, there's a lot of token diversity. They're just on there just to say, we're not racist because we've got an Asian here, we've got a black here, but are they actually representing it? Because imagine they did a White Panther. They wouldn't dare do that, because Black Panther is supposed to represent the African country of Wakanda.
Yeah, yeah.
He's supposed to represent black people. He's supposed to represent the culture. Like with Miss Marvel, she's supposed to represent the Asian community. And with obviously you need the new Falcon movie.
Yeah, yeah,
Do
yeah.
you think they should do a Black Captain America? Because a lot of people are saying that they're just doing it for the sake of saying we have a Black Captain America, and they don't want to come across as, you know.
I do think that's why.
Yeah.
Although I know that there's a black Captain America or
Yeah.
Falcon in the comics, fine, which is a good leeway. They're very clever for doing that. I
Yeah.
think their intention was to just make him black.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, but I think it's cool. I don't think he should stay as Captain America, because
Yeah.
Falcon is his own character. And yeah, it's the same thing you were saying, bro. I just think it's
Yeah.
token. It comes across like that. And even if that's not the case, they've done token characters so much.
So
I
many
can't
times.
fully trust that
Yeah.
Falcon's not that. So yeah, that's my
Yeah.
view on it.
It's like, in order to properly represent diversity
Yeah.
in a superhero movie or any movie in general, just have them actually represent that culture.
The culture, yeah.
Don't have like an Asian person or black person, but give them the personality of a white person.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
they're not going to be acting like that. In order for you to relate to your community, they need to have similar experiences so you see yourself represented on screen.
Yeah,
So if you have a black hero, don't be afraid to, not like make him black, but just
Yeah.
to represent the culture
Yeah, yeah.
of black people, and the same with Asian people. But it's just,
No, facts. And I think that's the main reason
It's the
that
crime
Marvel is
side.
failing, because the feminism, number one. Number two, they're rushing things. After the success of Infinity War, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, we got this so much money, let's just replicate it.
Yeah.
And I heard that even for Spider-Man 4, they were considering, or they might,
Yeah.
add Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
They don't need to do
It's
that.
like, bro, you're taking away from the value. Like
Yeah.
you said, we had all these years of build-up of their own character arcs, Thor, Iron Man, Captain America. They have their own films. And that's what the DCU tried to do with Justice League. They just tried
Yeah,
to,
they
here's
flopped
Justice
it.
League. But why don't you just build it slowly? That's what these man, they don't want to do it.
instead of like doing 6 projects here that no one cares about, just do 2 movies a year.
Yeah, yeah,
Relatable characters
yeah.
that have an arc over time. Good stories, and like villains who are not just for the sake of spite, who are actually sympathetic. Because
Yeah, yeah.
another thing, I'll divert a bit, but a lot of villains we watched growing up,
Yeah.
they weren't actually villains, they were broken people, but we didn't
Facts.
realise at the time. Why
Yeah.
do people like Anakin Skywalker
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Tai Lung?
Mm.
Because of the expectations that they had to live up
Yeah.
to, they thought, and look about it, I didn't realise how complex they were.
Facts.
They were written so good. Movies
Facts.
10 years ago,
Yeah.
because back then you actually cared about them and they actually had a reason, not just for the sake of, you know,
I just want to destroy the world.
plot device. Yeah.
Because that's what I think they did in Endgame with Thanos. Like, he just wanted to reset the whole world in like.
Yeah.
Like I didn't understand, but in Infinity War he had a logic like, okay, overpopulation, let me half it. So it's it's like he's a twist. Yeah, he has his own ideals. Yeah. But I agree with that.
When you see the state of the world now, everyone says, "Oh, Thanos was right." Right. It's declining so much.
Thanks. Yeah. It's declining so much. Yeah. I'm disappointed in Marvel, but if I was to go off what you said with the best Marvel film, I do think Infinity War. It has to be, bro. It has to be Infinity War. Because when I left that cinema, I said, "What the heck was that, bro?"
The cliffhanger.
Like, what? Yeah. You were excited.
Those are the best. When the villain, that's the thing. People, it's a huge risk, but it does so well. Why do you think Empire Strikes Back, Infinity War, when the villain wins at the end, it is so good.
Yeah.
It is so good because it shows like the heroes aren't invincible.
Yeah.
And if she's smoking everyone on the screen, I'm like, okay, wow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, we won in the end, and man, it's actually it feels like a realistic story.
Yeah,
like,
it's gritty. It's a gritty realism. You're not always gonna win in the end.
No, you're not, fam. Nah, but that I say top 3 are Infinity War. What's that? A Civil War. Yeah. And Iron Man 1. If I'm being unbiased.
Yeah.
They're the top 3 in my opinion.
This is my top 3. Avengers: Infinity War, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Captain America: Winter Soldier. That was
sick.
I will always die on this hill that Captain America: Winter Soldier has the best hand-to-hand fight scenes. The elevator scene. The amount of times I've replayed that scene. Like, if I was to ever be in a real life situation to replicate those moves. And third one, Black Panther was pretty good. And that was proper diversity. That wasn't token diversity. It actually represented.
Yeah.
It did so well because it actually represented a black superhero and represented his culture. So, Infinity War, Winter Soldier, and Black Panther.
Okay, fair enough.
All amazing films.
Yeah, cool. They go into it like it becomes more flowy as you get into it. Yeah. What do you think of girls? I always like to save that for later.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna say.
Do you have a girlfriend?
No.
A girl you're interested in?
Not at the moment, but I'll say this. I know every guy's like, I'm focusing on myself, but
cat, bro.
No. I'm in the middle because a lot of it is cope. Because every guy obviously wants to be in a relationship, but I would say at this point in my life, I'm focusing on myself, but I am open to like any potential relationships because at the end of the day, you gotta realize we have to build our value as men.
Right.
Girls will always, they always get that attention, that validation, and ever since you've had your canon event, that's what everyone's calling it. It makes you realize girls are amazing people. There's not coming from any hate. There are amazing girls out there who will add value to your life, and they'll help you on your grind. But there's, quite frankly, a lot of them who will just waste your time.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you spend most of your time chasing the ones who couldn't care too less. But I'd say for me, recently, I mean, there were a couple of girls who I really did want to enter a relationship with, but it's either when you just overinvest in a girl who doesn't feel the same, or you get done dirty by a girl that you really did trust, and then you're like, it changes your perception. You got to realize there are a lot of girls out there, and that's the dangers of the red pill community. If you absorb that content too much, it literally makes you bitter and twisted towards women, viewing them as all the same. And while there are a lot of girls out there who are good girls, quite frankly, right now at my point in my life, I need to be in a better state. I'm not saying I just need to focus. It's cap. Even I know it's code. But I would say it's like a 60-40. 60 focus on myself, 40 where I'm still talking to girls. I'm still open to a relationship, but I gotta realize having a girlfriend at the end of the day, she just has to be the cherry on top. She's not the whole cake. She's not the whole cake, because a lot of guys, they wanna, I have to be the 1% man. I have to have my finance. I have to have the best body. I have to be in the best shape of my life. And if you're saying that you want to be the top 1%, that's not going to be until like your 30s, 40s. And what if you have so many missed opportunities along the way because you want this perfect goal, which might never happen. But then there's the other extreme where if you're just focusing on girls all the time, that's not going to get you anywhere. So I would say I'm kind of in the middle where I'm always focusing on myself because I have to get my finance up, because girls are money, they want their nails. They want I'm not that good money wise, but at the same time, I'm still open. If there's some girls out there who are interested, why would I say no to that?
Yeah,
Because I've got to work on myself. You're just stupid.
Mm.
Because you could have ruined something really good, just because you want to be this perfect ideal man.
Yeah.
Might never. I think it's just an idea.
No,
Not necessarily a destination.
No, because I think it's clever. It's good to know when you're not ready for a girl. For instance, if you're like, say you're going through a lot of family issues and you're not mentally right, for you to go in a relationship isn't wise. So to say I'm not ready, I need to focus on myself, get in a better mental state. That makes sense. I understand that. But I think, like you said, a lot of men have the 1% mindset where they have to be Bill Gates before they get a girl.
Yeah.
Someone said, it was C-Bomb. Someone said, do you have how do I get a girlfriend? And he said, you don't get a girlfriend, you get the girlfriend. And that's a fact. You're just you, you're the best version of you, and then the right girl will support you on that journey. It's a journey, it's a teamwork, it's a partnership.
Do you believe in that saying, just work on yourself and she'll eventually come into your life?
I said this with the Smith interview. I said, I believe, because I'm a Christian, right? So my views on it are very, okay, cool, we'll get into that. But my views on it are very based on my faith. But it's a thing where it's like, yes, I do believe when you work on yourself, there's a certain way you carry yourself that is attractive. That's more attractive, so it can attract more people. But if I want food and I'm praying to God for food, it's not just going to land on
it.
We just said you have to be intentional with it. Same way you have to go out to make friends. You have to chat to, if you see an attractive girl and she looks like she's nice and she's cool, and she's not 3 and 4, then go, you know what I mean? If I'm just being honest. Go do it. Like, you never know what could come out of it.
That's the thing, that how can you tell? Because not every girl's like this, but obviously we're dealing with bop inflation.
Yeah.
Where even nowadays, a lot of, let's say you're talking to a girl, and I've made this mistake so many times. Because a lot of guys, because obviously growing up as a guy, if you don't get a lot of female attention, when girls are into you now, you over pedestalize. Because even when there was this girl that we weren't in like a relationship, but it was like one of those girls where if I was gonna marry this girl, it would be this girl, because we were so tight. We were boy and girl besties, and we always know that if you're besties with a girl, someone's gonna catch feelings. It was never mutual, but because at the time I didn't really have any other options of girls, I always pedestalized her. I always used to just see her as without flaw. And then growing up, you got to realize that girls are just normal people. They're flawed just like you. And I think with obviously social media just ruined this generation. It gives girls this inflated sense of ego. He has to be 6 figures, 6-pack, all of this. So that's like less than 1% of guys. But then with social media as well, it leads guys to over pedestalize girls and to simp and to be down bad and tell you, what's the at? What's the at? And just guys are too desperate. Like, she looks good, but when you over pedestalize, it's
because
I value on her.
Yeah, I agree. I think, like you said, especially from like, because if you look at me now and look at me back then, I was way less attractive back then.
I was chopped.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I wished.
Yeah. But it's a thing where it's like I've improved. I've moved forward, and it's like, okay, now I'm getting this attention. How do I handle it? And obviously with that comes heartbreak and stuff like that. Go through stuff. But I totally agree. Like, it's just, I think them are like, guys are learning, whilst girls are like unlearning. You know, because like I think from a young age, it's like a guy just chases a girl. Yeah. And like now it's different. Yeah.
What do you think about guys who peaked in school and then guys who peaked after school? Because there were certain men in school, they just knew how to get girls. Because I was one of those guys in school. I was underdeveloped.
You were hard.
I was underdeveloped. Underdeveloped.
Yeah.
It wasn't until maybe second year of uni where I actually started to look more physically attractive. Because I know I'm not the most handsome guy, but I know I'm a good looking guy now, and I've worked on my looks. But back in school, I was basically non-existent to girls. They were brutal. They were brutal. Like, regardless of what girls say about personality over looks, in today's generation, your looks are your personality.
Right.
Because your looks attract, but your personality is what keeps. Because if a chopped guy comes up to you in the street and asks for your IG, you can't see his personality. So like,
don't all the way around too as well.
Yeah. But
I'm not good at dating an ugly girl, and that's facts.
Same. I know it sounds super superficial, but at the same time, if I've worked on my looks and I've worked on my body, physical, why would I go for something less?
Yeah, like a fact. Like I'm just gonna be honest. You don't have to agree with me. Yeah, I would never date a fat girl. And that's not saying fat girls are terrible people. They're lovely people. Like their character matters. But how dare you? It's a disrespect to myself. I go to the gym and I'd be hurting in the gym. I'd be hurting. I'd be doing stuff. So it'd be a disrespect to myself. It's like if I date you, because it's like the same effort I put in, I'd expect you to put in. And also, it's just generally not attractive. You know what I mean? Like,
what about girls who spin the block? You know, you've had your glow up and they see what you look like now and they suddenly show interest.
I've heard stories where girls reject a guy and then the guy keeps pursuing and then like
don't do that.
They say yes.
Don't chase a girl. Don't.
And it's similar in that case where you know you're glowed up and they spin the block. Look, people. I understand people make mistakes, but me personally, I wouldn't. Because you should be able to help me. You're supposed to help me get there. Like you're supposed to see me at my worst and be like, look, I still rock with you. I have faith you'll get out of this. Not you'll stay in this and I'll love you forever. Because I don't think that's right. I think I'll help you get out of this. Again, it's my responsibility as a man to get out of that situation. Yeah. But it's a thing where you should love me at my worst and at my best as well. So I feel like it's a thing where if you don't like me at my worst, me personally, I won't accept it. Bro.
That's the thing. I feel like a lot of guys always feel like they need to be in a perfect state. To attract a girl. And I think, well, you should always aim to be the best version of yourself because you need to provide for your girl. You need to be an emotional rock.
Yeah,
you also need to grow. You need to grow with your girl.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't grow together, and she doesn't see you when you're down, how do you know? Like, she's seen you in your good times. So how do you know she's gonna truly rock with you unless you're rock bottom together?
The truth is, she's not. Because it's the thing where it's like she's only seen you at your best, and how is that even a true friend? Because it's really a friendship as well. How can you be a friend with someone who only likes you when you're up? That means they don't like you for you because you're you regardless of whether you're up and down, and they should love you for that. So that's why I never understand when these artists are dating all of these. I guess they just don't know, but dating all of these people who don't genuinely love them for their character. Yeah. But I do also think that guys look at the wrong things as well. I think obviously we want an attractive girl, but sometimes we chase that and we don't prioritize the character as well. Yeah, but like I was saying, I feel like a lot of guys prioritize the looks.
The looks.
What do you think about that?
So I'll stand by this. Looks attract, but her personality and values is what keeps.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of girls out there who they might not necessarily be the most attractive. But they have amazing personalities. They have really good values, and they're, you could say they're compatible. But because a lot of guys just value the look so much, they may try and get in a relationship with a 10, but she's self-absorbed. Because there's some girls who are like really, really attractive, but that's the only thing they have going on for them. They're it's just air in their head. It's like the light is on, but no one's upstairs. They're just they don't have anything else. But it's those girls who aren't as attractive and. With like the looks 1 to 10, a lot of it's just superficial. Like, okay, she might be a 10 to you, but what's her personality saying? What's her value saying? And if you're just going for attraction and no personality, that's just kind of...
It's shallow. You're not going to be...
It's shallow. It's really shallow.
And as I've grown older, my values have changed so much, obviously through my experiences, but my values have changed in a sense where I'm doing this, right? I'm also writing a book, right? We can get into that, but I'm also writing a book and stuff like that. And like, since I'm grinding on this, and since I have dreams and goals, and I know where I want to get to in life, it's a thing where my values in relationship have changed so much. It's no longer what fun can we have and stuff like that. It's like, I want a girl to be like, let me help you with help me with this. Honestly, or like, what have you written on your book today? Like stuff like that cares about your interests and your goals and your dreams. And likewise on my behalf as well. But what I've noticed is like talking to a lot of girls, it's like, okay, what do you like to do? Oh, okay, that's nice. Blah blah blah. It's boring. It's like they have no, you know what I mean?
Yeah. One thing I've learned to see after chatting to so many girls is that a lot of them, beyond their looks, they don't have a lot going on.
In fact,
honestly, a lot of girls don't. I don't see like I'm trashing girls or anything. Like they still do. It's just you ask them, and a lot of them just, if it's not their girls' night or on holiday or travel, a lot of them are just in their rooms all day. They're just with their friends.
And just FaceTime, which is
FaceTime, and a lot of girls are snakes. You don't realise behind their backs.
Oh yeah.
Chat shit behind each other, and this is why when a girl listens on the male perspective, like we're honest with the boys.
Yeah.
Let's say one of your boys is fat and doesn't go to the gym. We'll say to his face,
"Oh, bro,
you're like, bro,
you're
hit
fat.
the gym,
hit
the gym." Because in school, guys were brutally honest to me.
Yeah, facts.
They weren't telling me, "Oh, just love yourself, just the way you are."
Yeah.
They were saying, "Bro, you need to eat more. You're skinny." It wasn't until I'm like, actually, yeah, I need to be serious about my body and take it seriously. And yeah, with me as well in my relationship, that's what I value as well. Yeah, she has to be physically attractive, but I prefer that we're growing together. Like what are our goals for the week? Because let's be honest, a lot of men just want to get into a relationship. Just so they can get, so that's it. Think about it. Most relationships, it's just watching movies together,
and just
having sex, and then just being complacent.
But
I feel like growing together, having goals,
facts.
is a lot more fulfilling.
It is.
Just because instead of the instant gratification, long-term gratification where you're actually in a mature relationship, and a lot of people aren't in that right mindset.
Yeah. Facts. So I guess it's just finding someone who aligns with the mindset.
Yeah.
That's literally it.
Similar goals and values, really.
Yeah, of course. Because everyone likes... It's the thing where it's like... For instance, everyone likes different things. So it's a thing where, like, like if a girl's just not interested in what you like to do and stuff like that, then that's just it. It doesn't make her a bad person and stuff. Yeah, nah, facts. That's what I stand with girls. Where do you stand with your faith, though?
With my faith? That's a good one. I would say... it's good at the moment, but it could do with a lot of improvement. Because growing up, me and my family, we're like really, really faith orientated. Because obviously, when you're younger, especially growing up black, you always thought you were forced to go to church. You're something like, I have to go to church. But the older that I got, and I got baptized at 14, where I was able to consciously, decide for myself to give my life to Christ. I realized that it's not just a talk the talk, it's a walk that you have to walk. Because as Christians, you don't have to round your head that, I'm a believer, but it's in your actions, it's how you portray yourself. And being a Christian in today's generation, especially as a young, it's hard.
It's hard, bro.
Temptations, the wanting to fit in, the validation. Because there was at one point when people asked about my faith, I may have been slightly embarrassed to tell them I was a Christian.
And that's just the truth.
It's because you're just scared of how people are going to react and how they're going to portray you. But now in uni or whenever someone asks me, are you a Christian? I just say yes. People can tell in my actions. I'm not saying I am far from perfect. Even when you're reading your Bible, and then you go out and then you do the exact opposite and you're saying you're a Christian. But it's your actions portraying that. So it really is. It's about not being a lukewarm Christian. It's even in the music you listen to. A lot of secular music, that's raps, drugs and money and sleeping around and all of that. You have to be careful because Lucifer, the angel, he was literally the angel of music. That's why music, I don't think people realise how powerful music is. It affects you subconsciously. When I listen to music to escape, to be in my thoughts. And when you're listening to that music over time, it is subconsciously affecting how you think and your actions. If you're always listening to rap, your thoughts are going to probably get a bit more aggressive. If you always listen to calm music, it's relaxing. Because as much as we all like to say we like to escape, music does influence us in some sort of way. And that applies to your faith as well.
Yeah, facts. I totally agree. And I'm not saying I'm holier than thou. No one's perfect.
No one is.
In fact, it's literally recently that I'm literally adopting this mindset. I used to look at OnlyFans people and be like, oh, bruv, are you serious? But at the same time, it's like, that's not there's a right or wrong way to judge, and I don't want to judge the wrong way, like point the finger, because you can point 5 things at me that you don't do. So even though
imperfect yourself,
exactly. Even though there are things that I agree are more shameful, are more embarrassing, are more wrong, are more sinful, I'm not gonna judge you in the wrong way. But it's a thing where it's like, I'm not gonna lie, like a lot of Christians nowadays are lukewarm. A lot of people carry the title, put the proverb in their bio, Ecclesiastes, John 3:16, and then they be like in the club and stuff. I've seen it many times. And we shouldn't lie to ourselves if we're being lukewarm. If I'm being lukewarm, I'll admit it. Like, my friends are being lukewarm, they should know too. They shouldn't be like, oh, now I believe God, I'm a Christian, blah, blah, blah. Because a lot of people will say, oh, Lil Uzi Vert's satanic, and then listen to like Dirk or something. It's like the same thing. Like,
exactly.
It's just one is just being blatant about it, one isn't. You know what I mean?
It's not about talking the talk, it's walking the walk in your actions to say otherwise.
Facts.
Yeah,
exactly.
Would you say you're lukewarm at the moment?
At the moment, no. whenever I'm lukewarm, I literally, I know I'm down the wrong path. But again, it's just a matter of repenting and it's turning away from my old ways and just heading straight forward. So I do my best to follow the Bible the best way I can, staying pure, not swearing, not indulging in whatever the Bible doesn't say. So yeah, but at the end of the day, only God can know if I'm telling the truth.
Only God knows your heart. Only God knows your heart.
Yeah, facts. Do you have any dream? Oh no, before that, it depends if you want to say this, but you do TikTok, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I really wanted you to say that. I tried to
yeah,
indirectly get it out.
No, that's cool. Yeah.
But like, where do you enjoy it? Like, what made you want to start it?
Yeah. I was gonna do a video on that, but I may as well say it in here. So, what made me want to start TikTok? I guess it's because I just wanted to start content creation, and my first video, like, on my account is just me doing like a football skit.
Right.
I just wanted to start because a lot of people nowadays are just doing content creation, and that's like one of the ways you can get big now.
Facts.
It's not just a viral video. And I was like, what can I do with my content? Because a lot of people just copy each other. There's no original content. So I was saying to myself, what could I do where I establish myself, but just as who I am as a person? So I was like, why don't I do self-improvement and relatable content? Because it literally says on my bio, real, so relatable, and then lock in like self-improvement. Yeah. Because at this point, I'd already been to the gym for about a year, and beforehand, I'm telling you now, doing the gym is one of the best things that could have ever happened to me. So with my content, I was like, why don't I talk on my experiences about self-improvement and relatable videos, so that even though I'm not necessarily big at the moment, people can look at my content and see, well, this guy, he's pretty young, he's talking about self-improvement, he's relatable, he's keeping it down to earth. And over time, I amassed the following and people liked what I had to say. And every time people were commenting and liking my videos, I was like, whoa, I'm not just waffling to a camera. People actually relate to what I'm saying. And I'm telling you now, man, when people message you about, oh, bro, your content is so inspirational, you change, it's the best feeling. It's the best feeling, because you're like, if I only have like 5K followers, and I don't think that's a lot. That's honestly my perception of what is a lot. It's not. I don't think that highly of my TikTok at the moment. I'd be like, oh, you've inspired you, and it's not about the likes or the comments. Even if you've touched one person or one person has been inspired, your content has made a positive impact. So I started doing that. I did relatable content. I did self-improvement. I've done skits. I've got a few people on my videos, but people who aren't too camera shy, but that's it. And then I posted a video this year on the Omar situation, popped off, got 7.5 million views. Like, you know what, I can actually do this. TikTok could actually be a source of income one day. So I do have some goals on TikTok, but that's how it started, really. It just started with hitting the record button,
and that's it,
and just starting.
Do you think it's for everyone?
Social media, content creation. I wouldn't say it's for everyone. I'm not saying you can't do it, but we always hear the saying, you can be whatever you want to be in life. It gets to a point where if something isn't working out, it might not be cut out for you, especially because every guy growing up, they wanted to be a footballer or whatever. Not everyone can be cut out. You just have to be realistic. And with content creation, unless you have a goal, I'm not saying you can't start, but it just depends on if you're actually dedicated to your craft, because it requires dedication. You can't just post once a month and complain, well, why isn't my videos getting pushed out to the hour? You have to be consistent, and there will be countless times where you could post up to 30 videos and they just all flop. You've put in time and effort, but it's the 31st time. And if you're not willing to perfect your craft, then no. Don't just post for the sake of posting. Post to have a purpose behind it.
My cousin, he's younger than me, but he gave me the coldest analogy I've ever heard in my life. He said there's a certain diamond that if you hit it 999 times, it doesn't break and it doesn't show any signs of breaking. But on the 1,000th time it breaks. I was like, shoot, that really gave me some sick motivation for my content and stuff like that.
Sure.
Because it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. It's like it only takes one video to set you off.
Exactly.
So it's just consistency, flop after flop after flop in a society's eyes, but in your eyes, you're improving each time you're improving your craft. How can I improve my reels? How can I improve the content, the way I speak? And it's just constant improvement to the point where people, when that video does blow, it's not inorganic. You've already had that experience, and people can respect the fact you've done it for so long. So literally, like, it's It's a process. And have you seen Ratatouille?
The video and the film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
course,
this.
yeah.
It's a cold film. One of the coldest films. I've
love
rewatched
it.
it like a million times.
Yeah.
Like, there's a cold quote that what's the guy's name?
The
Yeah.
small.
The tall guy with the that was the antagonist. Ego.
Oh yeah, the
Ego.
yeah, the critic. Oh.
Yeah, the critic. Ego. Yeah.
Yeah, Ego. Yeah.
I think his name. We're going with Ego.
Yeah.
So Ego, he says, when he realizes that a rat made his Ratatouille, fam, he was like, okay, a cook can't come from anywhere, which is no. He says anyone can cook. That's not everyone can cook. He says not everyone can cook, but the whole point of that saying was a cook can come from anywhere, and that's what I'm saying. Anyone can start content. No, not everyone is built for content. Not everyone can make content, but there's no limit to where someone can make content from. So someone can make it in the slums of Africa and make it. Someone can make it in the highest of highs and still be a successful content creator. Like, there's no limit to where they can make it, and I think that's what it is. It's not built for everyone, but it can definitely be used by anyone.
Yeah, and I will say this: when you start, it will be kind of. It's cringy until you make it.
Yeah, exactly.
It really is,
Facts.
Because even at first, my first video was literally just me in a garden with my sister just filming. It was just like, it was a football video and like how people pass the ball back. It was I look back, looking back at my old videos, I'm like, oh, this is so cringy. I don't know why. Like, it's like I wouldn't be doing this content now, but then you realize over time, as you mature and change, the content changes. You get inspired to do different views, and then when you realize the views go up and stuff, that a lot of people, the same people, this is so funny, people switch up, the same people at school who may have laughed if they saw my old videos are the same people now who are commenting or asking me for advice, and I'm like, you're the same people in school who violated me, but now that you see that it actually works, you're coming to me for advice. Because people realise it isn't cringy, it's actually working, and then they want to, people will laugh at you until you make it, and then they want the advice themselves. I'm telling you, people switch up.
Exactly. It's part of the process, man. And even with this, it's like, I've had a lot of people, when it comes to me interviewing them, just wasted my time, bruv. Or who just take it like it's lightly. Like, for example, there'll be a day we're supposed to do it, then they'll move along the day before and stuff like that. And then it's a thing where, like, okay, I'll give you one example. Yeah, one person, after my first interview, one person was like, oh yeah, I'll be down to do this later on. I was like, okay, cool, now you can do it now. There's no place you have to be before we do it. And then he just didn't respond. I was like, cool. So I'm keeping on grinding, and all of a sudden, now, you know, I'm growing and, you know, things are going well. I guess people have a subconscious thing where it's like, oh, okay, maybe this might actually go somewhere. Let me hop on before it does. And it's a thing where it's like, nah, bro, I have to tell him, like, bro to bro, I wish you the best. I have no hate. But it's a thing where, like, no, what do you think this is, a hotel? You can't come and leave where you want. You've had your chance, and now it's passed. There's a couple people where they've said they've, like, been moved along, and now all of a sudden they're ready and I have to just jump out there and go. Even though it will be beneficial because them people know a lot of people. There's a lot of people that I can interview that they know a lot of people. Nah, bro, this is, I respect my art and my craft, innit? I prioritize it and I know where it's going to get to. So even though it will benefit me if I do that interview, it's nice. The thing where it's like, you guys will, when I overtake you, you guys will have to, you know, be like, oh, damn, I really messed up.
Honestly, that's really good, because when you was talking about perfecting your craft, it really is true, because regardless what people say, there is a hierarchy of, like, respect, especially in school. I don't know why back then, but in school, you know how validation was just a huge thing. Like, people cared so much about who was popular and who was liked. And I'm telling you now, after school, that doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean nothing.
Doesn't mean anything. Because I remember back then, I was like, oh, if I'm wearing Air Forces like everyone else, I've got AirPods, if, you know, I'm seen by girls, if I'm popular. Because I'm telling you now, in school, I was a late bloomer, basically. Like, a lot of people now who peaked in school, you don't know where they're, they've gone off the map, they're not doing as well. And it just shows you, it's so contained. Because you're teenagers at that point, you're still growing up and mature. Why do you feel like you need to be in your peak or whatever? And it wasn't until, like, after school, because a lot of people who follow me on IG used to go to school with me and we're still following each other. And I'm telling you now, the same people, they've seen me over the past 2 years posting inspiration. And I don't just post it, I actually walk the walk. And I'm posting boxing, gym, self-improvement. And I've run into several of these people now. And these people, they're treating me so much better now. They're like, bro, you're looking hench.
You're
looking jacked. Bro, can you give me some advice? We should hit a session. Like, you, man, wanted nothing to do with me in school. These were the people, and I wasn't, like, bullied in school, but, like, in terms of, like, verbal violations, I was, Prince, look at what he's wearing. Da-da-da, da-da-this, da-da-da. And it just shows you that once you take your life a lot more seriously, people will treat you with a lot more respect, regardless what they say. It sounds so superficial, but the more respect you have for yourself, the higher people's respect will go for you. Because now that I take myself a lot more seriously, like I will still have a good. I'm still all down for a good time and have a good life. But those same people realize that now that he takes his life a lot more seriously and he's actually surpassed us in some ways, that maybe I can learn a thing or two from him. And it just comes down to being humble and realizing that those people you overlook in school, after school, they're going to take it a lot more seriously.
Do you believe in the saying, people see you how you see yourself then?
Oh, yes.
I believe that?
I believe that.
Okay.
I definitely believe that. Because how you view yourself, it does show on the outside.
Yeah.
Because I got to relate this to school again. The reason why, because it's just... Because in school, for me, I'd had very low self-esteem. Like, the way I viewed myself was... I wasn't confident about my body. I had poor social skills. I wasn't really respected by girls. Pretty much invisible to girls at that point. And because I viewed myself so lowly, it kind of reflected on how people act to me. Because if you view yourself in such a negative way, people are going to look at you that way. Like, if you don't have that confidence in yourself, why should we be confident in you and your abilities? And if people not treating you bad, but they don't view you as highly as you view yourself, it makes sense. And it wasn't until even the first year of uni as well, I would still say I was underdeveloped. When I mean underdeveloped socially or confident to myself. But once it's just the gym, I'm telling you, man, once I hit the gym, I put on the muscle, I got more confident. Because it's not just a physical battle, but it's a mental battle as well. Because a lot of the times you do have to self-validate, because your worth isn't how people view you, it's actually how you view yourself. And then when I realised, I'm looking better now, I'm getting more muscles, why is it now girls all of a sudden are, you're looking good, you're attracted to me, guys are treating me better, because I view myself a lot more better now. I have that confidence in myself, and because what was the question? It was
do you believe in the saying?
Viewing yourself, because I viewed myself in a more positive light. I'm treated more positively now because I put in that work and because my mental state has improved, and a lot of it is mindset. If you want to be at a certain area in life, if you want to have certain goals to achieve, a lot of it is just mindset. It doesn't matter how you are physically. If you've got a terrible mindset, then it doesn't matter. So, but yeah, I would definitely say that's true, especially from experience.
So, do you have a dream? Like
a dream?
Yeah, because I know you have a lot of stuff going on, and you like to do a lot of stuff: the traveling, the TikTok, the boxing, the gym. Yeah. But it's like, do you have a certain dream that it's like, I want to achieve that?
Yeah, I do. So, my dreams, I've got quite a few, like just dreams in the next few years. Graduate uni.
Okay.
That's first 2-1. I'd retire my parents. That's like the number one, because my parents have done so much for me. Honestly, back then, looking back, I'm glad that even though back then people might have made fun of me for it, I'm so glad that because I think my parents raised me and my siblings so good. They made it so clear to us to always have a good education. Anything in life you want, you can achieve. To retire my parents, and I think every person should aim to do that. To grow my TikTok, so I can actually start monetizing it. And I actually want to hopefully get more views, get more people, leave a positive impact, travel, start a business. Because, and here's the thing, there's nothing wrong with having a 9-to-5, but I don't think it should be your life goal. You should, if you have the mindset and you have the goals, why not be your own boss, work for yourself? Because I don't think people should be too dependent on those jobs, because you've got to realise nowadays, a 9-to-5 is barely enough to live on. You need to have more sources of finance, and then just start a family. That's it really. And then obviously always keep God centre of my life, because you always have to realise everything you have in life is because God has given it to you. It's not by yourself. So those are my goals.
That's interesting. Because I think like you said, a lot of people are. I think I don't think a lot of people reflect on themselves that much, like generally, because I think, for example, in uni, a lot of people are here because their parents want them to be here and stuff like that, and I guess that's their own life. But it's a thing where it's like a lot of people don't view, okay, what do I want to do? Where do I want to get to? And I think those thoughts are kind of scary because it makes you self-reflect and be like, oh, damn, am I even doing anything right now? But at the end of the day, it's healthy because it will help you move forward to what you actually want to be. A lot of people think their dreams and goals are out of reach, but it's only one step at a time to get there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even trying to spit facts, get an edit or TikTok clip or anything.
Can't
like,
edit.
it's true. Like, nothing's impossible. Like, for example, if someone wants to be, I have a cousin, and he's really intelligent in science. In fact, I think he got called to like do something, get some award or something because he's really good at science. But he has a passion for fashion. So obviously, being Nigerian, his parents want him to be a doctor of science and stuff like that. But if he has a passion for fashion, why can't he pursue that? Even though he's gifted in that, but he has a passion for this, why can't he do that? A lot of people want to shut down other people because they have an idea of what their life could be like. But I think that you have a passion and a vision in you for a reason, and you're supposed to chase that. If you have a desire to be a lawyer, you should be one. A doctor, you should be one. A fashionista, a ballet dancer, you should be one. Because it's in you for a reason. I think God put it in you.
He gave you that drive as well because you keep telling yourself, oh, it's just a stupid dream. God put that inside of you so that you could chase it because I know a lot of people ask, what is my purpose in life? Everyone has a purpose, but it's just up to you to really... A lot of issues can just be addressed if you just being honest with yourself. Because a lot of people, they always need the answers from someone else or they need someone to tell them what they already know. You have that inside of you for a reason. It's up to you if you're going to pursue it or not. And sometimes it isn't always meant to be. But by working your hardest, by putting in that work day in and day out, you'd be a lot more closer than you think you are. Because let's say, if you went back in time and told yourself 10 years ago everything you would have achieved now, you would not believe. You would be in awe. But it's because you put in that work. If you told me 5 years ago that I would have a viral TikTok and I'd be inspired, you're like, me? Nah, I'm invisible. No, but it's because I put in that work and you take yourself serious and God put that fire inside of you for a reason. Exactly. And that's the thing, a lot of people might call you crazy, uncentric, or weird, and there's a lot of people who are watching you who actually are inspired. They don't say it to your face, but they'll keep watching for a reason, and even your haters.
Facts.
They're your biggest fans.
Facts.
They're your biggest fans.
It's true. Because I'm like, damn, like, you never know. I was watching Tyler, the Creator, like, say an interview where he was like, you never know who's watching. Like, he used to watch someone with, like, 6 views on their YouTube, and now they're big. It's a thing where it's like, I actually don't know who's watching. I don't even look at my analytics because my mindset's like, okay, let me just keep doing the same thing all the time. And eventually, you know, I'll get there. But you're right. Genuinely, that kind of stuff inspires me. And
I always come up with this rule, the rule of 10, that 4 people are going to like your content, 4 people are going to hate on it, and 6 people won't care. And as long as you always focus on the 4 that do matter, soon that will turn into 40, and then 400, and then 4,000. Because people are always concerned about people who don't like them, what people think about them, and it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're going to be dead one day, and if you're always living your life based on what other people think, you're not truly living your full self, and you're kind of a slave to what people think. It's not freeing at all.
Where do you want to be in 5 years?
Where do I want to be in 5 years? That's a good one. Better state financially, 100%.
Right.
Definitely would have had a business by then. I think I would probably be in a relationship by then in that time, but I just want to be... I know a lot of people say 5 years want to be married or so, like, that's like closer for me. But honestly, I want to just be in a state where I'm just really prepared for the future. Because in 5 years' time, we'll be in our mid-20s. Time just fly by. And even though nowadays everyone says you have so much time, at the same time, you have to prepare for the future now. We're at that age now where it's not just, 9 to 3. You actually have to actively decide for yourself. So I just really want to be in a position where I can support myself and a potential future family, because that is on the horizons, and make sure I've set my family up for future. Because everyone's always like, I want to be successful, I want to do this. But don't you want to give back to your community, to your people, to everyone who's helped you along the way? And for you to be successful and to not give back is so selfish. Because like we said at the start, no one is self-made.
No one's self-made.
So if I, for example, had made it and I hadn't considered my family, I would have said no. That would have been a failure on my part. To not set them up after everything they've done for me. It's the least I could do.
What would you say for people who don't have a good relationship with their parents? Do you still think they should give back?
That's interesting because family at the end of the day is the second most important thing after God. But not everyone gets on with their family, and just because you're blood, it doesn't mean that it's always guaranteed. But I would say you have to understand, even if you don't necessarily like your parents, it's their first time being parents. It's like while you're growing up, it's literally trial and error for them. It's the first time they have to look after someone for 18 years, instill good values and advice. And even if they weren't necessarily the best, they are still your parents at the end of the day. But there are obviously different scenarios and contexts where if your parents did abuse you or misuse you, then obviously, yeah, you have to distance yourself and be safe about it. But it's kind of a hard one. Because people always like to excuse a lot of things because, oh, but it's family. But just because it's family doesn't mean it's right at the end of the day how they treated you.
Yeah.
What do you say about that?
I'd say if it's something serious, which isn't common, like for example abuse and stuff, like those things happen and they're bad, but the reality is it's not common. Then those are exceptions. But even if you're not in a good relationship with them, I think the fact they brought you into this world and the fact they provided you some sort of living standards should be respected, and you should give them back just based off the fact they, like, out of respect, they brought you into this world. So yeah, even if you don't, then yeah, I still think you should give back 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
This is a question that just came in my head.
Yeah.
But I got this one and the finishing one. But what did you think about the US? What did you think about the US elections? Yeah.
The US elections.
Yeah.
A lot of people hate talking about politics, but I'll give my I'll give my general opinion.
Okay.
At the end of the day, whether you're a Trump fan or a Kamala fan, you got to realize politics is just their manifestos aligning with your values and what you believe in. And while I was in favour of Trump, the only reason why I voted Trump is, and this is not saying anyone should be like me, when you are voting, just always keep in mind that that person at the end of the day they're not perfect. Trump is not perfect. I'm not saying he's a saint or anything, he's far from it, but what he's done in the past for America and what he currently has planned, because it aligns with what me and what my family agrees with, he gets our vote. And I think a lot of people need to understand at the end of the day, you need to be able to separate the person from their past actions. Because we've all made mistakes. A lot of these people who are just, getting angry online and commenting on each other, like, oh, this, we need to start these movements. You've got to realise people from 10, 15 years ago aren't the same people they are today.
Yeah. He's
not a perfect person, but at the same time, what he currently has in mind for America, you have to keep that in mind. And a lot of people, when it comes to politics, it's just lack of research. It's just lack of research, and it's just what's the word? Sorry, I had a word.
No, it's alright.
It's just lack of research, because at the end of the day, politics is just them just making sure that their manifestos, ignorance. They're just ignorant that a lot of them, if their manifestos don't align with your values, then that's it really.
Yeah.
It's not really about black or white, it's just kind of grey sometimes on who you personally prefer.
Yeah, facts. Because I think a lot of people, like with me, again, it's just, no one's perfect. I think a lot of people think that if you don't believe in my values, that makes you a bad person. That's what I've seen with this whole thing. Like, some people are pro-life, some people are pro-choice, but it's a thing where if I just was to choose one, pro-choice people, if they say, you're pro-life, you don't care about women's rights, you're a bad person, it's like, no, people have difference of opinion. That doesn't necessarily make them evil, Same way you're passionate about what you think, they're passionate about what they think. And even though me personally, I'm pro-life because of my faith, But it's a thing where it's like, I'm not going to go to a pro-choice person and call them evil, because I know it's just a difference in mindset, So I think that's the main thing that I think people have to accept. Like, difference in opinion doesn't make you a bad person. There's objective wrongs like murder and the rest. But
at the end of the day, if you have your opinion and I have my opinion, that is fine, because we're different people. We don't always have to have the objectively same opinion. But when you start to force that ideal onto me and I can't respect yours, we can't coexist together, that's when it becomes a problem.
Exactly.
With so many, even with the because I've had whiplash for this before, with the community, it doesn't, at the end of the day, most people don't care how you view yourself, whatever, it doesn't matter. You're still a person. I'm not gonna just look at you like, oh, you're a gay person or whatever. You're still a person. It's when you just feel like if that person doesn't have the same views as you, they're an enemy to you. Or you need to indoctrinate people when they can just fit for themselves. That's when it becomes a problem. And a lot of these people, when they like to victimize themselves, they have to realize that in a Western society, we're not really victims at all. You have a whole month to freely express yourself. No one doesn't really care. It's only when you start to indoctrinate people who feel like that your view should be the world view. That's when it becomes a problem. And this is another thing with free speech. I'll ask you a question. Do you think free speech exists? Like free speech and cancel culture, because they kind of go hand in hand. Because they say you can speak your mind, but then cancel culture exists at the same time.
Do I think free speech exists?
I'd say to an extent.
Yeah, to an extent, but because that's the answer, it's no. Yeah, since it's to an extent, I'd say no. I think you can speak. Nah, man. Because when it gets to a point where if you say your beliefs, and I'm not talking about crazy ones, just standard beliefs, you can lose your job. I think that's how you know that. Yes, I don't think it is. That's me personally, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because a lot of people like to avoid religion and politics. Here's the thing. I don't care what you believe. It doesn't matter because you got to realize at the end of the day, those beliefs is just the surface level. You're not going to just look at them for their beliefs. You're going to look at them for their values, their characteristics. If you just look at someone like, oh, this is what they believe in, so that's them as a person, is completely wrong. Because that's just one part of them. But I think a lot of people just have the mindset. This is how a lot of wars start. You don't agree with my idea, so I'm going to blow you up. I'm going to kill you for it. I'm going to just...
We need to healthily disagree. Healthily and
healthily disagree. Agree to disagree. Realise that you can have different opinions and coexist at the same time.
Exactly.
And this is why, even with social media, I feel like it gives the people to just go crazy with their opinions.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And start these online forums. And I heard this thing recently with the 4B movement. And I was like, I read what it was like, you can't be serious at all. Even if you're not happy with who's in presidency, that is completely fine. Or if you're not happy about something, but there are certain ways to go about making change. By having being angry at men with red pill, be angry at women with feminism and all of that. That just comes from hate. Instead of just acknowledging that there are certain problems and issues in the world, but by just taking your anger out instead of actually addressing it and realising that, no, your voice isn't always going to be heard. It's just...
No,
you know,
I agree.
It's not easy.
I agree. Are you happy in life?
Am I happy in life? I'd say so. Compared to last year, I was not. If you asked me last year, it's a low mental. But I've gotten out of that dark place, and I've got God, got my close friends.
Yes, sir.
But I'm just focusing on. I am happy, but I have a more emphasis now on just protecting my peace. Like at this point in life, protecting my peace is everything to me.
Yes, sir. Because
I think you should aim to be happy in life, but I feel like with happiness, it comes and goes.
Yeah, man.
But I feel like with being peace and content, because you will always have trials in life, you always have ups and downs, but as long as you're at peace, you're content, you realise that I'm stable, I'm satisfied. So yeah, I would say I'm happy. I've got goals. I've got a lot going on for me, and yeah, there will be times where you do feel down, and you're not always 100%, but those are days you gotta push through, because there will be times where I don't feel like training, or when you're sometimes, when you're too reflective and then you start getting you start replaying those bad moments. You've got to realise as part of your character development, you had to go through those dark times to be who you are today. So I would say I am happy, but protecting my peace is everything to me. It's just that return on investment. Invest in things that get you a return on your investment. That's it.
Yeah, 100%. Freeing,
Would you say you're happy in life?
Me?
Yeah.
Me, generally right now, you know what, I'm going to answer your question, but it's a thing where my goal for this is like to be in my own studio and like have different people DM me and just come. And I'll and my goal is at 1 million subs. I'm going to tell my story, do my interview.
Sure. That's
my goal. Yeah. But at the moment, yeah, I am happy in life. And it was going to link to what I'm going to say to you. I feel like our generation is very obsessed with feelings. And I'm not just saying our generation, not including me. We're very obsessed with feelings. Like, if I don't feel happy, if I don't feel good, that means I'm not good. Feelings don't translate into reality.
Yeah.
Because you can feel sad right now, but in an hour's time you can be happy. So what's the real thing?
Yeah.
The reality is we live good. The reality is we're privileged. There's a roof over our head. People are getting bombed. I say this all the time, but I'm really deep in it. People,
we are very privileged.
Very privileged. So for me to say I'm not happy and I'm not good, like, yeah, I have peace knowing that, you know, me personally, my faith is important. So knowing that God is in control, He has my back and He's orchestrating my steps. And I have peace knowing that, okay, even though I may not feel too good right now, I know I'm on track to improving. I know I'm chasing my dreams, my goals. I know I'm not just saying it, but doing it. I'm writing my book. I'm recording my videos. I'm editing it. I'm putting in the work, going to the gym. I know I'm good, even if I don't feel it right now. So in general, yeah, I'm happy, bro.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I don't think a lot of people realize that those dark moments in your life, they are so transitional. They are not permanent at all.
Yeah.
It's funny because you always look back and realize that you thought that was it. You thought that was like, my life can't get any better, and then it improves, and you realize you have to be in the lowest of the lows to appreciate the highest of the highs.
Facts.
And generally, most of the times, even though you may feel down, you have so much to be grateful for. The fact that you can eat, we have education, we have clothes on our back.
Yeah.
Whenever you have a bad day, there's someone who is wishing they were in your situation.
Yeah.
And that's another. You just have to be so grateful. Even nowadays, I always tell my family I'm so grateful for them.
Yeah.
Even just when it's a sunny day, like even just small things, like you have to be so grateful. I'm telling you, your mood and your mindset affects everything. Even just because if you wake up in a bad mood, that's going to affect your whole day. Even if it wasn't necessarily bad, you may have had an okay day because of just your mindset. It just affects you, but yeah, I would say
perception is reality. Is real. It's a real
your
thing.
thoughts do become reality as well.
Yeah, facts. So if you just align it with, I think gratefulness without comparison is just the best thing you can be in, man.
Do you believe in the saying, comparison is the thief of joy?
100 million%.
Yeah.
That is so true. If anything, that's probably the most true quote I've ever heard in my life. Because it's a thing where you can be doing so well. Not only does it take you off course for what you want to do, but it makes you ungrateful for the things you already have.
Exactly.
So it's like, how can you, for example, for your TikTok, you can look at someone with 1 million followers and be like, oh, damn, like, why am I not there? They're just posting their foot or something and it just blew up.
Yeah.
But it's like, hold on, they're in their own lane, you're in your own lane.
Yeah.
Look at what you're doing. Who's to say that you're not going to overtake them, number
Exactly.
one? And who's to say that you're not making a more positive impact? You're just being ungrateful to the people who do appreciate, your content. So yeah, I literally believe it's terrible. Even when, like, for example, if you're in a relationship, oh, my girl's not built like Nicki Minaj or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, your girl is rocking with you for who you are.
Exactly. You gotta be grateful for that. And you gotta realize the grass isn't always green on the other side. And there's this quote I saw online that don't compare your day 20 to someone's day 100.
Exactly.
The gym is a perfect example of this. You'll be lifting, let's say, like, I've been going for 2 years now, and I would say I'm happy with my physique. I'm proud. I'm a lot more body confident now. Right. There'll be like some jack dude next to me throwing 3 times my size. I realise he's been going a lot longer than me. And at one point in my life, I will be there, but I have to be happy with the progress I made, because at one point, I couldn't even lift what I'm doing now. So it's just about you looking back at your own journey and realising you've still made progress. Your day 1 is not going to be the same as your day 100, and everyone is at different points in your life. That's why the gym is such a good example.
It's a great example, bro.
That guy can lift 50 because he's at that stage of his life. You're only at 10 because that's the stage of life. It doesn't lie. If you can lift the weights, you can. If you can't, you can't lift the weights. Which is why don't compare yourself, because you're comparing yourself to someone else who's at a different stage. And someone is wanting to be at the position you're in. Funny enough, because you know when people are like, I want to be like you, like, you want to be like me? I'm just here chilling, doing my own thing, and you're inspiring people. You don't realise that. Honestly, man, when I see your content, I'm like, you're going to blow up one day.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Honestly, you're keeping it raw and authentic.
Thank you, man. Yeah. Yes, sir. Because it's like, bro, it's like, stay in your own lane is such an underrated quote. Like, it's true. Because I remember in the gym, bro, that's why I think everyone should just go to the gym. Cause
I'm telling you, go to the gym. You don't have to be the next
Ronnie
Coleman. Just have to work on your physical fitness. That's it.
It's so true, because it's a thing where it's like, I remember the days, bro. I remember my first day. I couldn't lift the bar. I was struggling to lift the bar on the bench press.
I couldn't even lift up the
I couldn't lift up. I promise. I tried. My friends just got the dumbbells and started curling. I couldn't lift. I don't even think I could lift 4 kg. I literally
really?
don't think I could curl 4 kg.
Yeah.
Now I'm curling like 18 kg.
Yeah,
How,
same.
like,
So,
it's
yeah.
like, bro, it's like, I always
telling you.
think, how? Like,
Yeah, shout out to my boy who got me into the gym as well. But when I first went, I remember we was doing preacher comes. That's so good for bicep. I was struggling with 5 kg.
Yeah.
It was so. I'm telling you, there is no growth without pain.
Yeah,
it hurt me,
yeah.
and now I'm doing 15.
Yeah,
And the guy's kind of like, oh, can you help me? And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I couldn't lift up. And now people are like, DM me like, bro, how do I put on muscle? When I would have been at that stage, like, if you asked me 2 years ago, we're talking about muscle. This guy sticks and bones. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Bro. I can't.
It's like you have to be proud of the progress you've made. You have to be. And I don't think there ever is a 1% destination. You're always growing. You're always growing in life. You're always learning. And as long as you're always constantly moving forward, you're going to be a lot better than you were last year.
100%.
So, that's
100 million.
got to be proud of the progress you've made.
Anything you want to say before you leave?
Watch out for David, man.
Yes,
he's doing good. These
Yes,
podcasts are doing well. And
Yes,
guys, just realise that you will have those good days and bad days, but it's part of the experience.
Yes, sir.
It builds you into who you are as a person, and you gotta be grateful. Gotta be grateful for the things in life, and everything you want, it will come in time as long as you put the work in for it.
Yes, sir.
That's
a
it.
sick way to end.
Yeah, we gotta do a part 2.
That was great. Definitely, like, years ahead.